Hi fight fans, welcome back again to another episode with the African Fighters. And on today's episode, we'll be giving you a roundup of everything happening in the world of combat sports. Stay with us. Alright, UFC 103 went down during the weekend. This event was headlined by the highly anticipated clash between JP Kruger and Conrad Siabi. Both fighting out of South Africa. The winner of this match will go on to try and unify the middleweight title. JP Tinkerbell Kruger submitted fellow veteran Conrad Siabi in the first round of their interim title fight to set a date with current middleweight champion Luke Michael after a brief exchange on the feet and in the clinch. Kruger placed his foe on the canvas and immediately set about taking the back and slapping on the rear naked choke to take the win by submission. In his post-fight interview after an incredible record of service to African MMA, Siabi announced his retirement, citing the need to continue his mentorship of the BIA fighting team as he has done so successfully in Pretoria. Kruger faced up with Michael in anticipation of what would undoubtedly be an incredible title unification bout. In the co-main event, Roddy Relentless Roots utilized his superior grappling to control his opponent, August Kayambala, on the ground, and though he was caught from a well-placed elbow from his opponent inside the clinch, he continued his onslaught in the second round, during which Kayambala verbally submitted to the referee. After Heel Nails hampered his rise through the ranks a few years ago, his victorious return was an emotional one for him and his father, with the promise of many more years of action from the exciting young featherweight. Other results from the same event saw Terence Balelo emerge victorious against Moshela, while Nicole Van Wyk defeated her opponent from Kenya, Felista Mugo, and Christian Mulamba's fight against Eduardo Barros ended in a no contest due to an accidental illegal strike. Alright, African Knockout Championship kicked off in Lagos with its maiden edition on Friday night in Lagos at the Soul Beach Oniru in Victoria Island. It promised to be an amazing event and it did deliver. The promotion, which is headed by Nigeria's US-based former UFC welterweight world champion Kamaru Usman, was an opportunity for African fighters to show the stuff that they are made of. It was an incredibly packed arena with 9 fights on the prelim and 5 fights on the main card. Nigeria's Nwaneri got the show started against Lawrence, and a lot of massive fights followed after that. In the light heavyweight matchup of the night, Juma's experience proved to be a little too much for Dennis, while the machine gun Shegs was a little bit too much for Yakuba. In one of the most interesting fights of the night, Diata found Musasa just a little bit too much to handle, as a lot of fans thought this was the fight of the night. Emeka continued to show his dominance and the power that he has by knocking out Odeno in the first round, while Drame and Flex went the full distance. Flex emerging victorious in the main event of the evening. Quite an amazing event, and a lot of the fans will be looking forward to the next event from the AKO. Alright, after months of speculation and meetings with major promotions, it appears Francis Ngannou may finally be ready to announce plans for his future in combat sports. It teased fans with a video which implied there will be a big announcement on the 16th of May 2023. The Predator has been exploring free agency since the beginning of this year after he and the UFC were unable to come to terms on a new deal. It remains to be seen if Ngannou's teased announcement on May 16th will in fact provide clarity on where he'll be fighting next, but getting a deal done sooner rather than later certainly seems as if it will be in the 36-year-old's best interest. Whatever announcement Ngannou has planned will hopefully provide an end to his status as a free agent.
I thought he made an error, to be honest. I mean, he hasn't fought in a minute.
To believe that he's never been popular fighting or a bit
more days go on, less intrigue, less care we have for Francis to go to boxing.
Du Plessis, a former champion under the banners of KSW and EFC in South Africa, has experienced a rapid rise since arriving on mixed martial arts' biggest stage, the UFC, in 2020. During his search to contention, Du Plessis leapfrogged a number of notable names at the 185 pounds, including the 13th ranked Brandon Allen. After stalling the charge of Andrew Muniz earlier this year, the 27-year-old is looking to continue his form against Bruno Silva next month. During a recent interview with MMA Junkie, Allen looked ahead to his second octagon outing of the year, which was originally set to come in the main event against Jack Hermanson. With that in mind, he expects to be in the mix for a clash against Du Plessis towards the end of 2023, provided he defends his title against Bruno Silva. He also believes that Du Plessis would not be able to get past Robert with the car.
I'm pretty confident. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Dricus is the luckiest fighter in the UFC. I just don't like the way he carries himself. I think I don't know. There's a lot of things I've heard behind the scenes about him too, because he used to train at my gym, and a lot of my friends know him, so I just don't like him. I've been around him. He's come to lunch with us before and tries to crack jokes, but he's not funny. Like, I just don't like him. I don't like the way he carries himself.
Alright, UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya has broken his silence following reports of an impending legal battle between him and his former girlfriend, Charlotte Podrell. Despite not being married or having any kids together, multiple reports claim Podrell is planning to sue Adesanya to get half of his wealth on the premise that they dated for a very long time. Adesanya has not taken the rumor lightly and has described in his Instagram stories. His response was quite heated, expressing strong negative emotions towards his former girlfriend and accusing her of being self-centered and manipulative. In his Instagram story, he wrote, "I wish I let you drift away into a miserable existence because misery loves company and you love being a victim." He also went on to say that you have never helped me make money, only ever cost me money. Now you think you deserve half of my wealth. In summary, he said he is glad that what has happened and it wouldn't change a thing. He also claims that he's ready for a legal battle and that his lawyers are ready. Hopefully things with Adesanya get sorted as soon as possible and he can get back to concentrating on being the middleweight champion of the UFC. Alright, leave your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next episode.